I'm going to go ahead and open the meeting, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty for all.
All right, I can ask for approval of this morning's agenda.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, I have is consideration of the approval for claims for payment.
Make a motion to approve the October 27th, 2021 claims for payment.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Mark, you're up to bat.
Wow, that's quick.
I know.
Well, good morning. Thank
Good
you for
morning.
the opportunity to talk to you a little bit, give you an update on what we've got going on. So I have fielded several more inquiries on our industrial spec building over the last month. It's been kind of interesting, but since steel and building materials are in short supply, spec buildings are in high demand. But we do have one main prospect that we are working with. They've met with two contractors on the completion of the building, and they've done a phase 1 environmental study on the property. And the city of Iowa Falls has passed a development agreement. So we do anticipate that this is going to lead to a purchase agreement in the near future.
Yes.
So we're excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're bringing new business to Iowa Falls. So it's an agricultural business. So it's a good thing.
Good.
Help our local farmers. We do continue to meet with a prospect on our certified site. We are working through the legals of potential options on the property so that they could perform their due diligence. This is taking a long time, working through legal, but it is continuing to move forward. So we're hopeful on that. Nimrod Meats Meat Locker is continuing their construction. We're working on a couple of projects that would help local producers be able to get their meat to the market. And there's a grant I'll talk about later on that's working in that vein. We have one new retail business that opened up with the Roxy Convenience and Liquor Store. So we do have another retail prospect that I did mention last month. They have completed their environmental study on the property that they're interested in, and they're working on site development plans at this point. So we hope to see something from them very soon. On a more sour note, Iowa State University College of Veterinary Medicine has decided not to move forward with a satellite clinic in Iowa Falls. While there was quite a bit of need for small animal vet, they just wanted more need on the large animal side to really provide their students with a full spectrum of opportunity for veterinary services. IFADC did host a manufacturing day with high school students, and they had the opportunity to visit Cargill, Poet, Metal Tech, and plastic recycling, and get an idea of what that looks like as far as a potential future career and what goes on inside those places. Most kids had no idea. So MetroNet is moving forward on a build out of the fiber optic network in Iowa Falls. They hope to have most of their underground done yet this year, and then do a completion would be probably late summer of 2022. IFADC is working with Region 6 on 2 grants, one for a local business for facade improvements, and the other one is a grant for expansion of daycare. Again, which is as I'm sure you probably heard, is a critical issue for people to be able to go to work. So we continue to try and do what we can there. I am working with Iowa Valley Community College District and Indian Hills District on an Economic Development Administration Build Back Better grant. That would, again, provide and develop assistance at both community colleges to help manufacturing as well as agriculture. So those are 2 areas that we're focusing on. We are working on a new labor shed for Iowa Falls and Hardin County. They're still working with the contractor on doing surveys into the area. So if people do get phone calls from a Missouri number, please answer the phone and take the survey. It'll help us get this thing done, wrapped up, and get data done. I would expect They've told me it's 6 weeks after they get all the data in, so I'd love to see it by the end of the year, but I'm going to suspect we're going to be first part of next year before we actually get the report back.
When was that last done?
2 years ago, 2019.
Okay.
We do them every 2 years.
Okay.
So, and finally, continuing with the existing business visits. Recently, I visited with Cargill again, the second time this month. They brought a new facility manager on board. And this Friday, I have a meeting with the new general manager. Oh, we had a short, brief meeting a couple weeks ago, and now we're getting together for something more in depth. But we continue to work with our large companies like that because they provide employment for all of Hardin County, and obviously those two industries in particular do a lot for our farm economy and being able to raise grain prices and provide a market for our local producers. So that's it. Wrap up on that. Any questions?
I'll just be curious what the labor shed says. And again, answer your phone. Nobody's gonna sell you a car warranty. or
No,
anything.
nobody's selling you a car warranty. And yeah, no personal information is taken in these, so you don't have to worry about you know, your name getting out there with something attached to it. It's all reported in the aggregate. So
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. I didn't have any utility permits. Taylor, secondary roads update.
They opened the bridge on Elm Avenue yesterday, so all of our roads are currently open and ready to go. We're done with all our big projects. We're just doing little ones now. So, yeah,
Sign crews are busy.
yep, we did lose our Air Force guy is done and gone, so John's alone now.
Okay.
But he got a lot done in these, 4 months.
Yeah. I
So,
think that program is something we need to like
yeah,
really
that's a pretty good
get
deal.
after. So, okay. Next item is consideration of the bridge inspection and rating program for 22 and 23. Taylor.
Yep, so this is the same company we've been using since the 90s. Of course, the prices go up a little bit each year, but they do what we ask them to do, and they let us know like if something's not legally meeting the standards. And so yes, I recommend moving forward with them.
So is there a special company that we're?
Calhoun and Burns.
Sure, Calhoun and Burns
Okay.
out of West Des Moines. Yep, and our prices here, they estimate it to be $5,000 in 2022 and $6,000 in 2023.
Okay, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the bridge inspection and rating program for 2022 and 23 with Calhoun and Burns.
I will second.
Okay, I have a motion, and a second. Any discussion? And everything they do is in accordance with the DOT guidance, regulations, and shalls, correct?
They do the majority of the counties, and we all like it because they do it every day.
Right.
Some of these counties, they go and look at the bridges themselves, and you do it, once a year, maybe once every other year. I just feel like you're not an expert at that point.
Right. Okay. And that's a total for inspecting the bridges.
There is like more cost, like I'd say.
Yeah, Donna just asked, is that per bridge or total? You
Yeah.
want to explain how the fee structure work, like,
Sure, so that's kind of like their work. What we end up paying at the year, it usually runs between 40 and 50,000 total.
okay,
Yeah, is what the like, so there's not an exact cost, they just have the amount.
and then there's like a menu depending on the bridge, the size.
Yeah, that's correct, and
construction
yep.
style.
And sometimes we have to add them, they might go look at one this year and all of a sudden it needs to be looked at every year, something's wrong with it. So yeah, it does change year to year, but they like to do these 2-year contracts.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, I have an application for consideration for use of the courthouse grounds submitted by Joan Grotoff from the Eldora Public Library. They'd like to do an additional story walk in conjunction with the Eldora Christmas Festival, November 23rd through the 30th. They've had a couple events here with no issues in the past.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the application for use of courthouse grounds.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next item I have is a resolution on compensation of members of election boards. So Jolene, Angela,
We're looking at just raising the election, the poll workers. Not the election board, the poll workers wage from 9 to 10 and
Okay.
10 to 11 for the shares.
Okay.
And I reached out to other counties and it's anywhere from $9 to $13, except for New York, of course.
yeah, I was gonna say, I had mentioned to Jolene that as I listened to some streaming radio, there's commercials where in New York elections are paying $250 a day. And then if you worked 5 days of pre-election poll work and election day, there was $1,000 bonus. And then extra money if you spoke foreign language that was in need for interpretation services. So I think that's a little outside of our our budget, but I think it's interesting how the importance of quality poll workers, are. So,
And hopefully this will make it just a little more
Right.
interesting to someone.
yeah, and I think going forward is something that in our budget discussions that we can definitely talk about, increasing that, because I don't see the supply growing, but the demand will continue to grow or stay the same. So,
A lot more work to do with these also. So are you sure 10 and 11 is where you want to be, or is that just what fits in your budget currently?
Right now, that's what fits in our budget.
What are they currently getting paid?
9 and
9
and
and 10.
Oh,
So
they're-
it's just $1.
okay, so it'll be 10 and 11. Okay.
I'll go ahead and approve the resolution on compensation of members of the election boards with $10 an hour and $11 an hour for that. Serves as co-chair of precinct on election day.
I'll second it.
okay, I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Angela?
Lance.
Aye.
Renee.
Aye.
BJ.
Aye, motion carries. Next, discuss with possible action on county mileage rate reimbursement. Recorder Cadner asked that we discuss this. She couldn't be with us today. She had a personal commitment. And Jolene got some survey information from other counties. And those ranges were far and wide. I'll just, Blackhawk pays 39 cents, which is the actual Iowa Department of Administrative Services rate. Dubuque County 56, Clinton County 56, Monroe 56, Poweshiek 48.5, Sioux County 50 cents, Wapello 50 and 5/100ths of a cent. Webster 51 cents. The state, as I noted, pays 39 cents a mile in a personal vehicle, and then the federal government, as of January 1st, 2021, was 56 cents per mile. So I'm open to discussion, and if there's a means of doing something sooner than later, I think that's great. We don't have a fleet of vehicles for people to drive. At the most, we have 1 or 2 vehicles. I would say that with fuel prices going up, I think that it could be something we add to the first meeting of July every year, when the fiscal year starts to re-examine and see where fuel costs are and where our mileage demand is, and address it annually to keep up. And then if there's fluctuations in the economy and market, that we could look at adjusting it as needed. But I think it has to have a sunset on it, so you don't keep it high when fuel prices go down.
I know at one time we talked about was just following the state or the federal. So as they go up, we go up, as they go down, we go down. Then it would automatically trigger that. I thought we passed that, but apparently we didn't. So yeah, sunsetting annually and revisiting July 1st wouldn't be bad either.
Right. So I would accept anything today, or if you want to re-examine it later.
The only thing with July 1st is we're doing budgets December and January. How are you gonna know what, if it's going up?
We could address it January 1st to be effective July 1st.
Right.
True.
So usually the federal rates and stuff change, January 1st.
Is it January? Okay.
I guess, I mean, I would be more in favor of changing it July 1st, but addressing it January 1st. So we know what the dollar amount is, so it can be budgeted, so we aren't short in our budgets. If we adjust it January 1st and it goes up, some people might be short on a budget too.
And you'll never keep up with what they decide to change theirs mid-year.
But currently, we're at 45.
Mhm.
Yep.
And cost, yes, is
Dramatically.
And
42,
also price of
42% from a year ago last week.
I wouldn't be opposed to going to 50 cents right now.
Okay.
Any other thoughts?
No.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the mileage reimbursement rate at 50 cents a mile. Any discussion? Hearing none. Angela?
Lance,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
AJ,
Aye. Motion carries. Next item I have for consideration is a change of status from the Hardin County Sheriff's Office. For Eric Eugenio, correctional officer, permanent part-time, effective November 6, 2021, hired at a rate of $18.90 an hour.
I make a motion to approve.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Other business,
I have no other business.
No.
Michelle, Jolene, Daryl, Michael. With that being said, I can ask for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion
Aye.
carries. Thank you.